I've been teaching guitar for the last 5 years, and in my time as a teacher, I've seen hundreds of students come and go, all levels, all ages. Today, I wanted to talk about what makes students quit. Truth is, a lot of guitar students quit, and it's not after 10 years or after they become amazing, it's actually the first 3 to 6 months. It's not because they're lazy, it's not because guitar is too hard. A lot of times it can be they were taught wrong, motivated wrong, or simply had just unrealistic expectations. And sometimes it's not even that, sometimes it's just that the guitar isn't set up right. So let's get into all these things. Number one, guitar setup. The way your guitar neck is set up matters a lot. See, what happens with a lot of beginners is it could be a kid, it could be an adult starting guitar. People tend to buy just a cheap guitar, which is not ideal for learning. It has really bad action, really bad neck profile and setup and all that. And because of that, like anything you play on a guitar with a really bad action is like 10 times harder. Here's the thing, you could give a guitar with horrible action to Eric Clapton and he would turn it down. He wouldn't want to play that thing because it's simply too much effort. And unfortunately, this is one of those things that gets ignored by beginners when they're starting out because simply they don't have the knowledge. So if you're somebody who's watching this right now, you want to learn guitar, or at least you know somebody who does, take your guitar down to your local music store and have the person there set your guitar neck up and the action just right so that it's easy to play for you. Trust me guys, this matters a lot. Number two, let's talk about unrealistic expectations. As a teacher, I've encountered this so many times, especially when people have that first conversation with me about wanting to start guitar lessons. Thing is, everybody wants to be a rock star really fast, but that's just not how it works. A lot of beginners think they'll be able to play 10 songs in a week or be able to sound like their favorite guitarist in a month. Or just having this thing where if they don't play something at really lightning speed that they think they are untalented. I also blame social media for this because it ruined a lot of people's patience. Because all we see on social media is polished clips. We never see the thousands of ugly hours of practice. Yeah, when progress feels slow, motivation dies. Let me tell you how to fix this. You do this by setting micro goals. I do this all the time in my classes. We set goals for small things, one lick, one riff, one chord, one progression at a time. It's like the old saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. The thing with learning any song is to break it up into small sections that are easy to digest. That way you can celebrate the small victories. Third reason a lot of beginners quit is because practice is boring. And I agree, a lot of these beginner exercises, drills, and just getting used to chords and finger position and all that, it is boring. Especially when you're first starting out, a lot of times you can't even get to the songs you actually like. You have to do simpler songs and you just have to practice these boring scales and dry exercises. So the fix for this is just suck it up and put in the work. I know it sounds boring to do those scales, but that is where you set a really strong foundation for what comes later, the awesomeness that comes later on. Number four, having no proper routine and no system. Most students don't fail, they just drift. No schedule, no structure, no accountability. And this goes double for people learning online because online there's so many distractions. You're on YouTube and you just see some video unrelated pop up in the side and you just click off and just your guitar practice gone to hell. So the fix for this is deliberate practice. You give yourself deliberate minutes of practice for each exercise. Say 5 minutes for the pentatonic scale, 5 minutes for your chords, 20 minutes for songs, like that. Remember this, consistent practice is the way to go. 15 minutes of practice daily is way better than 2 hours a week. The fifth reason a lot of people quit is the pain, the frustration, and hitting that wall. So your fingers hurt, chords are buzzing, it's just not sounding correct. Nobody really warned you about this ugly phase in learning guitar. This is where a lot of people also quit by just thinking that maybe guitar isn't for them. So for that, you gotta train this little guy in here, the noggin, the brain, because the mind is always gonna feed you these little things of like defeat. Or like, it's too hard, take a break, come back tomorrow. But you gotta train yourself to not listen to it and still go on with your practice. And this is something I've seen with hundreds of students where something they might have been struggling with in the moment But yet they kept on practicing, they kept at it. In 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, a day later, they got it. It just popped up out of nowhere. It was like, oh, this was pretty easy, or like, it didn't take that long. Number 6, bad teaching. So I cannot stress this enough. Having a really good teacher is one of the most important things you can do on your guitar journey. Of course, they gotta know their stuff on the guitar, but you also want somebody who's patient. Somebody who has a really extensive library of music and songs and music that they can introduce you to. Because a lot of people stall and get stuck on a plateau in their guitar journey because they're always playing the same kind of music. So if you only play pop, try going outside that box. Try country, try jazz, try rock, try something that you wouldn't normally play, because that's how you get better. A really good guitar teacher is going to take you through all of that. They're going to give you structure, they're going to give you live feedback, which is very important, and it's something you can get through a screen, like if you're learning through YouTube. And it will all have a personal element. If you're starting guitar, honestly, one of the best things you can do is having a great teacher. And that was it. So if you're somebody who's starting out the journey on the guitar, keep these things in mind. A lot of these things have all the fixes. I've talked about all of them, and just implement these things in your guitar journey. Because really, budding guitarists only really quit because of really bad guitar setup, having unrealistic expectations, and bad guidance. Fix those and you're never gonna quit. And once you fall in love with this instrument, it's gonna be for life.